have all these attributes. Like I'm tall, I'm handsome, green eyes, curly hair when it grows out. I'm strong, hung like a horse. And then they're like, he's got a good brain too. It's like, it's not fair. It seems too good to be true. Shout out God. What can I say?
Yeah, big ups.
He did me a good one.
Welcome to the Coach 'em Up podcast. My name's Tim Riley. We found Zach. He was no longer in Space Nightclub. He was wandering around the streets of Miami. He's been safely returned home to his girlfriend, Geneva. Shout out G. And he has returned to his position, absolutely killing it for men's strength and conditioning at the University of Miami. All is well. There are two types of people on this planet. There are subscribers and there are non-subscribers. Y'all know what the fuck to do at this point. Subscribe, help me out, help Zach out. It's free, costs nothing to you. If you have a friend, partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the fuck, and their phone is laying around, go in there, don't read their text messages. You might regret it. One thing you won't regret, subscribe them, unbeknownst to them. It'll be the greatest gift you could ever give them. Zach's not here, but Nick Rodriguez is.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Not much.
I appreciate you sitting down and hanging out with me. We were talking off air briefly, which, by the way, this is our first time meeting. Like half the guests I have, like I either have some correspondence with like prior, and then the other half, it's this thing where it's just like we're dropped in a room together and we don't really know each other. But you can also tell about 5 minutes into conversation with someone how the thing's gonna go, and you're just the chillest dude on the planet, man.
Oh, just living life, you know, no complaints here.
You remind me of one of my longtime best friends. His name's Forrest Armstrong. Forrest, if you're watching, shout out Forrest. But right when you walked in and then you asked for a water and then deleted the entire water, I was like, Forrest.
Don't waste time in life.
Don't waste, no fucking around, dude. No. All right. I have been doing a lot of research in preparation for this. Kind of like cramming like you do for, or at least like what I would do for tests. I certainly wouldn't study like a normal person. So I've learned a lot about you in a short amount of time. For the people who don't know who you are or what you're about or what you do, can you tell us a little bit about who Nick Rodriguez is?
Nick Rodriguez, let's see. Do I attack this extremely cocky or do I just go the moderate route?
Dude,
I'm just
let your nuts hang, bro. This is the let the people know who the fuck you are, brother.
Yeah, I mean, short-sighted. I'm just a dude that does jiu-jitsu. I have multiple businesses that stem from that same jiu-jitsu success. But in reality, they call me the Black Belt Slayer, the Natty King, the $1 Million Grappler. And all of those nicknames I completely agree with. Let's talk origins. Origins of the Black Belt Slayer nickname was my first well-known nickname. I come from a wrestling background, right? I wrestled through middle school, high school in the state of New Jersey, and did 1 year of Division III college where I was all right. I was a young freshman. You know, I graduated high school at 17. So my freshman year of college, I was 18 and wrestling guys were 21. That's my excuse. Yeah.
Wait, why is that the culture around that? Like wrestling culture, you said most of the guys were 21 and you were...
Well, they were in college because
Right.
I'm
oh, I see.
I was just a young...
They were just upper class.
Yeah, I was a young freshman. I was starting, upperclassman. Yeah, and I was heavier, like 197 in college. So typically heavier weight class, older guys. But yeah, I did decent. I was like top 12 in the nation as a freshman in Division III, which isn't crazy. But soon after college, I dropped out to pursue fitness modeling and then transitioned to grappling. And in the first year of grappling, I placed second in the world championship at my weight class, which is pretty absurd. And I showed everybody the power of American wrestling, and when you combine that with anti-jiu-jitsu.
When you say anti-jiu-jitsu, what do you mean?
I just call it get off me. It's pretty much that. It's like I have a grappling style. Well, I guess I had a grappling.
Reminds me of you saying that. What's his name? The Black Beast.
Oh, Derek Lewis.
Yeah. He's like, I just stand up.
Yeah. kind of like that. Yeah. I just more like I touch them, they don't touch me style of grappling, mainly because I didn't know anything. So I just really won with physicality, the ability to stay on top, stay out of bad positions, and then expose my opponent's my opponent's back whenever I could. Mainly winning by points early in my career, because jiu-jitsu is attributes matter a lot, strength matters, physicality, but knowledge is king, and it takes a while to get some good knowledge, build some good reactions.
That's interesting, because as you were speaking, I'm thinking to myself, so you had all this success really quickly. I've seen this in athleticism, where working with an athlete, where you're almost like, it's a blessing to not be inundated with a ton of knowledge initially.
Yeah.
And so you're like, you spend years and years perfecting a craft, and then you go into a match. And so it's like you're playing this chess match in your head, but not only are you doing that against your opponent, you're doing it with yourself, right? And so I couldn't help but think when you said that, I'm like, how much of that you just being able to go into it and like kind of being free from the bondage of your own fucking brain and just being able to let it rip helped you or didn't? Is that a fair assessment?
A lot of these guys at the world's highest level, black belt, whatever, I'd beat them before the match even started. They felt my confidence going in. They felt probably some anxiety because they're like, oh, this guy's only been training jiu-jitsu for a year. I've been training for 15, 20 years. Like, if I don't win, it's going to look terrible.
It's going to look bad.
Yeah. So they're like that. And I'm just like, I'm going to kill these guys. Like, you know what I mean? They're accustomed to this grappling, this jiu-jitsu pace, and I'm an American wrestler. You know, I'll go out there and die if I have to. You know what I mean? I'll push the pace. I'll keep going. So I think just my physicality kind of got me to the point where I could move out of mom's house. You know, that's what it was about. The second I placed at the World Championships, I was like, oh, I'm leaving. You know, so that was the first step. Starting to stack some money up, and just able to be an adult after that.
You mentioned, well, let me back up actually. So, okay. To put in perspective for people, how crazy it is to go from wrestling D3, being a good wrestler, right? A decent enough, right? And then being able to place in that short amount of time, like comparing that to another sport, like in my mind, that's like essentially playing like high school football and then like walking onto an NFL team and then getting like Pro Bowl nominated.
Yeah. I
right?
guess so. Yeah. At a smaller scale, you know, it's a niche sport.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I was at that level. I'm even better now. You know, but
how long ago was this?
I mean, I've been training jiu-jitsu exclusively for 7 years. 7 years in, I think, July 10th.
How old are you, dude?
28.
28. Okay.
What are you, 22?
I wish. I'm 30. Fuck, how old am I, dude? I'm 35.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Don't let them know.
I'm 22, dude. That's how old I am. So you also mentioned like businesses and other avenues that have opened up for you because of what was kind of like a meteoric rise for you in jiu-jitsu. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to start peppering you with questions, dude.
It's okay. Businesses, I own equity in the company Fuel Hunt, t-shirt, shorts, hats, just American made apparel, fitness apparel, everyday apparel, and grappling gear. I'm a grappler. So if you want to support me, support them. Co-founded B Team Jiu-Jitsu, which is the premier, the biggest jiu-jitsu academy ever, really. I mean, we have close to 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. We built that. We did that in about 3 years, almost 4 years. I think over 250,000 followers on Instagram, and we make the best content. You know what I mean? When people hire us to compete, they don't just get a match; they get a community behind a match. They get vlogs leading up, going to the match, during the match, after the match. You know, so it's a grade A production that we do to not only build ourselves up, but to build our teammates up as well. I also own a beef jerky company, Carne Jerky, CarneJerky.com. And pretty much our I just needed a healthy snack. I travel a bunch for seminars and competing and all this good stuff. So I needed a healthy snack to kind of help me stay in shape and hit my protein goals. And I was like, why not do it myself, you know? And it really came about because one of my students was bringing me this jerky that his like grandpa or great grandpa was making. I was like, dude, this is the best jerky I've ever had in my life. He has this like, his grandpa or whatever makes this like this sauce to dip the jerky in. It's super thin and crispy.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, man, we should sell this. And they're like, no, a family recipe. Literally took me like a year and a half to convince them. And then we're like, all right, let's give it a try. And it's been going great. We're so small right now. Like it's a struggle to produce it in mass quantities. But in the next few weeks, we should be able to expand properly. So I'm excited for that.
Let's go, dude. I mean, honestly, it's inspiring. I think culturally in jiu-jitsu with social media and what you've been able to do with the storytelling and then parlaying that into businesses, like you mentioned it being the Wild West earlier. Is that typical? Like,
I don't think
other people really doing it like that.
No, I don't think many people are that smart. And it's hard for them to believe that I'm doing this stuff because I have all these attributes. Like I'm tall, I'm handsome, green eyes, curly hair when it grows out. I'm strong, hung like a horse. And then they're like, he's got a good brain too. It's like, it's
not fucking fair.
It's not fair. It seems too good to be true. But you know, shout out God. What can I say?
Yeah, big ups.
He did me a good one.
And the dude drives a Raptor, and we all know how I feel about that.
What year's your Raptor?
22.
Have you jumped it?
No, I haven't jumped it yet.
Dude, the second I bought mine, same week, center.
Jumped it?
Center.
Where can I jump it?
Bastrop. I got you. Let's go together.
It is literally done, sealed.
I go all the time.
I want to smash some of that jerky you're talking about. Because right, you're talking about, I'm like, dude, I travel. I can't ever find fucking food to eat.
I'll send some to you. Don't worry about it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Actually,
honestly, we can just end the pod now. Like that's all. The jerky and jumps. Stop it.
If you're gonna send it, bro, I've been to Moab twice just to test the truck.
What year's yours?
It's 24. I bought a brand new 24. Went to Moab, and I got back and bought the R. I was like, I can't.
You're sick.
I was like, I can't.
You're sick.
Yeah, I bought the regular Raptor. I was like, I don't need all this horsepower.
Sure,
and you
sure.
don't. You fucking don't. But every night I was dreaming about it. I was like, how much better would this be if I just had an extra 250?
If I just had more.
Yeah. Which is not responsible, but whatever.
Whatever.
It didn't hurt me.
No, full sense. Yeah. That is awesome. Yeah. Well, good. See, this is just the bump I need to start having the conversations with my girlfriend around how the R is on the horizon.
Dude, it's tax deductible. Let's go.
This is true.
You know?
Yes, I do know. All right, dude. So you've parlayed that initial success into long-term success, not only in the sport, but as a businessman. Mm-hmm. And I want to rewind and go back to your wrestling career prior to jiu-jitsu. And just picking up on some of the things that I heard you talking about around what wrestling did for you, the physicality you were able to bring. Because I'm familiar with wrestling much more than I am combat sports, at least in terms of training and physical preparation. And I know the kind of person, like you're fucking sick in the head, dude. Honestly, like to be a wrestler and to take it seriously and to be good, you have to be able to go to a different place. So can you talk about what your experience was like there and how those things really made an impact and were able to help propel you into the jiu-jitsu space?
How do I say this? I went to college for wrestling, and like I was always good at giving effort. I like the way effort made me feel. And I remember being so tired in college practice one time. I was like I went through these different stages. I was like, all right, I'm kind of like puking, kind of numb. I can't hear anything. There's just like ringing in my ears. And I was like, I remember thinking like, what if I just died right now? And then I was like, I'd rather die than quit. And I think that is the difference between people that they give really good effort, and people that really want to be successful. I think it doesn't matter what you have to go through, as long as you achieve your goal. And I think just that mentality alone helped me really succeed. I always had the ability to become the best like guy in the room. So I sought out better rooms. Like after my first year in college, I recognized like, all right, I'm the most successful guy on this team right now. Like I'm beating everybody in practice. I need to find a better room. And ultimately that's what led me like, to jiu-jitsu afterwards. But yeah, I think it's just being tough, being consistent. Like I've been an athlete my whole life.
Did you play other sports too?
Yeah, I grew up, start with soccer, a little bit of like t-ball, football, a little bit track and field, cross country, all that good stuff. But my first wrestling practice, I think I was like, pretty sure I was 12 years old. The one-on-one combat, the forcing somebody against their will was like something about it. It's like, oh, you don't want to go down, but I'm forcing you to go down. You know what I mean? And there's nothing you can do about it. That was so attractive to me. And then also I found like in football, which I recognized in football early on, I only liked hitting people. I was like, I don't care if we scored. I just want to crack guys. And if I could just get a hold of somebody the whole time, that'd be better for me. Also, my football team in high school sucked. So I was like, these guys just blamed each other when they lost. Right. I would give maximum effort as I do in everything. Right. And these guys are like lazy. So when I win or when I lose, I want it to be all my fault. So that's why I really tethered myself to wrestling. And yeah, I don't know if the mentality thing is like born or.
I was just about to ask you, dude, where the fuck does that come from?
I
can relate. Yeah. Like, I get being all or nothing and being fucking bought in when it doesn't make sense necessarily, maybe even to the people around me.
Yeah, because even in college and like high school, you're not doing it for money. You're just like, just want to be the man. Like, I don't know. You're doing it for yourself, right? My dad early on, like I learned what hard work was early. My dad had multiple jobs. His main source of income was flipping houses, and he did all the work himself. So since I could walk, I'd hand him hammers, and then before you know it, I'm doing stuff with him. So from a very young age, I learned what hard work is. And he was like, listen, no matter what you do in life, you're going to have to work extremely hard. Mm-hmm. But it'd be best if you get to pick what you want to do. I was like, I definitely don't want to do this. Yeah. I'm not swinging hammers.
Listen, I've set windows and doors for enough summers. Fuck that shit. Yeah. Roofing, no thanks, dude.
Yep. Yeah. I've done a little bit of everything, enough to know that I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, no thanks. What was the gateway? Like, how the fuck did you get to jiu-jitsu though? Did like a buddy like invite you out to a dojo, or like how'd that happen?
Kind of like that. So I dropped out of college because I signed with this company called Wilhelmina Models in New York City, and I was making a few bucks without working. I was with a sports and fitness thing, like Spirit Halloween would hire me. I do stuff for other little gigs. I'm like, make $1,000 here, 1,500 there. I'm like, I'm making money without having a job. I should probably see if I could do this long term. You know what I mean? Like, who else I didn't know anybody I come from a small town. I graduated like 75 kids in my high school. So everybody was an employee mindset, and my dad was entrepreneur mindset. So I was like, if I can make money being, 17, 18 without a job, like I should probably see it through. So I'm working, I get a few like local jobs. I work at Home Depot. I do bouncing, and I'm working for a public something where they cut like local grass, whatever. Okay, yeah. I'm bouncing. Half the bouncers were wrestlers, other half were jiu-jitsu guys. And the grapplers, jiu-jitsu guys were always like, we'll choke out all of the wrestlers, no problem. I was like, this is impossible. So a few weeks into my bouncing job, they convinced me to go train with them. I go train, and they just couldn't do anything to me. There's a few like local, I think they were like purple belts at the time, and they couldn't do anything to me. I would like take them down, take their back, and not do anything to them either. But I was like, you guys suck. So I kind of had fun. It was itching that competitive thing that I've had my entire life. And now I leave college and I go like a whole year without getting hands on anybody. Yep. And then I get a taste of it. I was like, this is like, I need this in my life. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking of every day I'm not wrestling, I'm thinking about wrestling. And jiu-jitsu got me enough like in that. I got that same feeling. So I hop around a few local gyms, and I end up settling at one gym called South Jersey BJJ. I trained for 2 weeks, and the beginning of the second week, my first like real coach, Jay Regabudo, which is a phenomenal guy, he convinced me to go to like a 6 a.m. class. He brings in pretty much all the best guys from like an hour or so distance to this 6 a.m. class. I go in.
Do you know this going into it, by the way, that he's like kind of collecting a specific group?
He just says it's going to be good training. You should come to 6 a.m. Okay, I'm like, word, I'll be there. Alarm goes off at like 5:15. I'm like, fuck, all right, whatever, let's do it. So I pull up, and I do decent, but they sub me mainly like leg locks. I mean, if for those of you that don't train jiu-jitsu, leg locks are the equaling game. If you take a 20-year black belt and a 2-year blue belt that's been doing leg locks, the blue belt will probably smash the black belt, probably heel hook him. Leg locks are so powerful. And I don't say that lightly. It's so true. Anyway, yeah, I go to this 6 a.m. practice, and a week later, my coach enters me into like a tournament down the shore, and I just go against some local like black belts, brown belts. I think I literally scored like 75 points to 0 in 5 matches. I had like 4 submissions and one win via points. And
can you talk a little bit about the point system too? Just like the way scoring works.
So points, one of the hardest things about jiu-jitsu is that points vary from tournament to tournament. But for the most part, it's like take down and hold down for 3 seconds is a score of like 2 points. If they turtle like referee's position, they turn around, you put boots in, that's more points. And it's like 3 or 4 points, depending what where you're competing. And then if you get like side control or mounts, that's more points. And then submission's a win. Okay. Yeah. Sweep also, so one guy's seated, one guy's standing or on their knees. If you reverse it where you get on top of them, that's points as well for a sweep. That's kind of it. But a lot of these tournaments nowadays are submission only. So you have to sub them to win, or it goes to the ref's decision, which you don't want your future in somebody else's hands.
So it's entirely subjective at that point, right?
Yeah, it's subjective. It's like you can have a dominant match, and we've seen terrible judging. As MMA, you have those refs of those days. But yeah, look to sub to win.
The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with Eleiko.
Let's go.
Not only is Eleiko found in 85% of Power 5 schools, but they also offer at-home solutions from racks, flooring, rigs, barbells, bumper plates, your favorite accessories like straps and weightlifting belts, you name it, Eleiko's got you covered. Go to eleiko.com/coachemup and get access to the same equipment that they're using in the best facilities with the best athletes on the planet.
The Coach 'em Up podcast is sponsored by Squat Wedgies. Tim, what are Squat Wedgies?
Squat Wedgies are an adjustable squat wedge, 7, 13, and 20 degrees.
It's big enough to elevate your whole foot and not just your heel.
Because it's rubber, it doesn't slide on surfaces.
It's 22 pounds, so it's durable and stable enough for even your biggest athletes.
There's a 90-day risk-free trial. The shipping is free, and
get 15% off Squat Wedgies with our discount code CoachEmUp15.
CoachEmUp15 for 15% off of the best squat wedge on the planet. While you're embarking on your jiu-jitsu journey, you start off at these smaller tournaments. Like, what does training outside of that look like for you? Like, are you just like, head like full swan dive into jiu-jitsu? Are you lifting weights? Are you doing cardio? Like, what does the rest of the regimen look like for you during this time?
Okay, so the second I started jiu-jitsu, I was just like, I found out that like my coach Jay was like, oh, there's people making real money in this sport, and he showed me like numbers and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm in. So I quit all my jobs. I was like, I'm just going to do this all day, every day, like immediately. So I think when, like Tuesdays and Wednesdays were the most training for me. I do 6 a.m. at South Jersey BJJ, and then I drive like an hour and a half north to Rutgers University. I go wrestle with those guys, and then I drive an hour and a half back home, lift weights for like 30, 45 minutes, eat a few times throughout the day, and then training in at nighttime, which would be like 7:30 p.m. in Philadelphia, which is like another hour drive. And that's for 3 jiu-jitsu, 1 lifting session.
Jesus.
And then all throughout the week, I was training about 2 to 3 times jiu-jitsu plus a lift at different times. But Tuesday, Thursday, I did the most driving. And then about 3 months in, I was able to got connected with John Danaher, which is the greatest grappling coach in the history of jiu-jitsu, right? And there's really no comparison. So once I connected with him, he was like, oh, you should come train with us as much as you can. So I drive from South Jersey to Manhattan. It took me about 2.5 hours to get there. And then I usually catch rush hour on the way back. So like maybe 3, my worst was 5 hours on the way back.
Fuck,
traffic.
dude. Yeah.
So that's pretty bad. But I did that like 5-6 times a week until I did good in my first world championship. I was able to move up there. But yeah, it was good. It was good commitment. Also racked up like $15,000 in credit card debt, literally just from food, gas, tolls, parking, train ticket. Like within the like 9-10 months, I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. You know what I mean?
Well, I was just about to say, this is like a legendary example of betting on yourself.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I just had enough money to like pay the minimum, like $200 a month. You know what I mean? For the credit card. I was like, I'm in it. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it happen.
So you meet John Danaher, and how much of an impact did that make on your skill set and then your training philosophy as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely made a huge impact.
And what about him is so special? Because there are people who know who he is outside of the jiu-jitsu realm, just as the way you described him, but they have no concept of why he's been anointed as that person. Like, he's that fucking guy.
Well, I'm going to do it disjustice because I don't think I can articulate exactly what makes him so different. But I'm just going to leave it in layman's terms.
Okay.
All right. He's a philosopher. I believe he's genius level IQ. And because he can't physically train or compete, I mean, he's older now, but this gave him the time to really study all aspects of grappling. It's not only like jiu-jitsu and submissions, it's American wrestling, it's Greco, it's judo. He's able to see everything, combine everything. And he just has a great eye for his athletes. You know, he can sit, watch you, and say, "This is what you're doing wrong. This is what you have to do to fix it." He's made many world champions, and just a selfless person. I think when you take a genius that is ambitious enough to wants to create this athletes, you know, he's going to have that high level of success.
Yeah,
I've absolutely left out tons of other aspects to him that just, you know, I'm not gonna. I don't have enough articulation to do him justice, you know. So we leave it simple.
Okay. You going back to like this big swing and this big commitment that you took on when you went all in for jiu-jitsu. And I can look back over my life and I've had several like leaps of faith, essentially, where it's like, I'm doing this, I'm going for it. If I fall flat on my face, fuck it, you know, but I'm doing it. And navigating those time periods, two things. One, I think people like to put warm, fuzzy stuff around that, like when they look at it in hindsight. And dude, whenever I think about those times, it's never like, oh, I did it because I love it. It's because I was sicko obsessed.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a warm fuzzy thing. It was like it was undeniable. It was like, this is the only thing that can happen, period. And like, I would have these moments in time where I'm like, dude, am I fucking up? Or like, you know, you're talking about the credit card. It's like, dude, 15 grand is a lot of credit card. You know what I mean?
Especially when you're 21.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you explain what your experience was like with that? Like, was it because you fell in love? Was it something else driving you? And then you had to have had moments where you're like, did I make a mistake? How did you go over that stuff?
I always I always felt like I was on the right path. Yeah, I've always had good faith. Yeah, I never really looked out at I've never been like outside looking in, like especially at that point in my life. Maybe nowadays I do it a bit, but I was just like, every day I wake up, what do I have to do now today to get better than I was yesterday? That's all I cared about. Everything else didn't matter. I didn't care about anything, anyone. I was like, what do I have to do today to become better than I was yesterday? If I do that every day over and over, I'm going to make it. I didn't look at anything else at all.
That has been a fucking reoccurring theme on this podcast. The guest that we just had on, Hannah Black, shout out Hannah. She's a local CrossFit competitor, total badass. Similar conversation. She said the exact same thing. We've probably had 10 guests say the same thing, where when you focus on what's directly in front of you, instead of focusing on the outcome, right? Like you want the outcome, but if you look at it and you zoom out, instead of focusing on what's right in front of you and absolutely dominating that next task, you're almost bound to fail. Or at least you're not. And then the other side of that is like, there's no way you're going to be present enough to do the job necessary to get to the next fucking step.
Yeah, I think being present is very important, especially when it comes to competing. Too often people are like, I need to beat this guy to achieve this goal. And that kind of takes you out of the moment. Like the only way you can really accomplish what you want to accomplish is by eliminating all distractions and just focus on exactly what you're doing right now, which is, we call it being in the zone or whatever, but it's one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
You always been a mustache guy?
No, dude.
Just recently?
Dude, yeah. So like, well, I guess it hasn't been that recent now. So it's probably been like a year and a half. And it was one of those things like my girlfriend was like, you should like try the mustache thing. I was like, you into that? She was like, I'm like, this is her way of saying she's definitely into that. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And definitely like in the early phases of growing it out, I'm looking at myself and I look like someone who shouldn't be allowed in a school zone. Like initially, I definitely
heard somebody say that not everybody that has a mustache is a pedophile, but every pedophile has a mustache. That's, I've just heard it somewhere.
Honestly, as someone who has a mustache, I gotta say, like that actually seems like it tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem like a good guy though.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah. You know what's wild about having a mustache? People you don't know. Okay, so first when I started growing it out, it was wild to me how many people I knew or like didn't know, like people I knew on the periphery of my life, just like people I like see in the gym on a regular basis, had an opinion about it, and they're gonna fucking tell you, bro.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna let you know. They'll be like, mustache, huh? You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, and they're like, huh. Nice. Or it'll be like the other end of the spectrum where someone will walk up to me and they'll be like, are you growing a mustache? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay. And it's like, motherfucker, what?
It's kind of like the eyebrow tattoo of the facial hair. It's a statement.
It is a statement.
You gotta respect it. Yeah.
So, and then like, it's one of those things too. It's like, okay, I get to a full blown stash, right? And I had a moment where I was like, I'm taking this thing off. Like it's had its run. I shaved it off. Nick, when I looked at myself in the mirror,
different guy.
I was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, really?
Mustache me is better.
Yeah, well, you got to know yourself.
You have to.
Yeah, you got to love yourself.
I've planted my flag. So until further notice, mustache for life.
Just got to commit whatever you do, bud.
All in, no matter what. So throughout your jiu-jitsu career, I'm sure obviously training has been, and I mean specifically strength conditioning, right? The physical aspect of the sport. And I was, perusing your Instagram in preparation for this, and I saw a post, and dude, you've put on like something crazy. I think you went from like, what was it, 187 to 230 pounds. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I can't fucking believe I just remembered those numbers, by the way. That is by far the most impressive thing I've done today.
Yeah. 230 is like, I'm eating Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah,
here and
hell
there,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
I can have abs at pretty much any weight because they're just a strong core.
Yeah.
But competition, Nicky Rod is like 225.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a little bit leaner, a little cleaner diet.
How long has it taken you to accumulate this muscle tissue? Because that's no small feat, dude.
It's taken between 7 and 10 years. I can't recall exactly when I was like, oh, I'm 225. But when I started, when I started lifting weights was right after my last match in high school. I got like smushed because this guy was so much stronger than me. I go home that night. I watch Pain and Gain. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
I'm getting swole. So watch Pain and Gain. I stay up to like 3 or 4 a.m. watching like Rich Piana, like just like, trying to figure out how these guys are getting big.
Yeah.
And then, so I just started lifting until I couldn't lift anymore. It's like they say, how you never do one thing, so you do everything, whatever. But I committed, you know what I mean? Like every day I lifted, I do whatever part wasn't extremely sore. So I was all hypertrophy. I would just do like, if I'm doing biceps, not even arms, I would just do biceps until I couldn't move my fucking arms. The next day I do triceps, you know what I mean?
Let's go.
Yeah. And I do every individual body part. And then just eating, my body weight in protein. And I was a hyper responder. Like in the first like month or two, I was like, I probably put on 10 pounds or so of like muscle.
You hadn't done any traditional lifting up until that point?
My like wrestling stuff, like push-ups, pull-ups.
Right.
Some like some stuff with the bar, like power cleans and stuff, but not regimented, not consistently, and mainly only like right before the season during the wrestling season.
Got it.
Yeah. And then so pretty much I was in high school, I was wrestling 160, 170. I'd cut from like 185. And then so right after high school or right after wrestling season, I was 185-ish, 187. And just start packing on muscle. And a few years go by and then, or actually not even a few years, let's say college, I come in at like 205, 210, cut down to 197, which like you're talking only a few months, 185 to 205, 210. It's a fucking massive.
Dude.
Yeah. It's a lot of weight. And then after that, by the time I started jiu-jitsu, I was right around 215. And then because I was training so much, I had to up my food like tremendously. So it was really difficult to gain those last like 15 pounds or 15 pounds or so. And that took me another like 5 years to put that size on. But I'm happy I did it because I have more weight to throw around. And I feel like jiu-jitsu it's less about moving the other person, more about moving yourself around that person. So if you can be efficient, with moving your own body weight, that's good.
How has, because you talked a little bit about, initially what training looked like for you, and you're just fucking smoking yourself to smithereens and picking a body part. Has your training philosophy changed, and how has that looked, and what does that morph like over the years?
Yeah, so COVID really helped me out because before COVID, I thought if I just stopped lifting, I would lose all my muscle. Yeah. Right. I realized that was just for guys to do steroids. If you build a good foundation, you're just going to keep muscle. So like I realized this because COVID hit, like almost all the gyms were closed. And then I couldn't even work out at my apartment complex gym. It was ridiculous. So I went like a few months no lifting. I was like,
were you living down here then?
No.
Where were you?
No, COVID, I was up in North Bergen. So like I'm like 5 minutes from Manhattan.
Oh, so you were locked the fuck down.
Yeah. I was locked down. The cool thing is that the city was empty. So you could hit 100 in the Lincoln Tunnel, no problem. Yeah. It was pretty good. It was good until they stopped us from training completely.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Puerto Rico. We're like, let's get out of here. We go train on an island somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, it was good.
You mentioned a lot of guys like losing weight rapidly when they stop lifting. And then also in your post, you mentioned anabolic use and jiu-jitsu. And again, like I'm reading this stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm completely fucking naive. But I didn't realize anabolic use was so prevalent in jiu-jitsu. And is there no testing organization, or give me the lay of the land, dude?
Okay, so practically no testing except for recently. affiliation called IBJJF. They started testing like only their black belts and only here and there. And then I believe UFC is going to begin testing their grapplers that are signed with them as well. But prior to a couple of years ago, there was just no testing at all. So people can go and compete. And I mean, people still go and compete. You know, there's only two organizations that test out of like, you know, there's quite a bit of free land out there. You know what I mean?
It's the wild fucking West still.
It is. Yeah, guys can do anything and everything. And a lot of people ask me why I don't. One big aspect is that I'm stronger and look better than most of these guys that are on gear. It's like without all the health issues.
Right.
You know? And it makes some of these guys ugly. You know, big head, the skin gets a little weird. I'm still young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're like, I'm all fucking set on that.
I'm good. My biceps are bigger than yours. We're good, bro. No complaints.
With everything that's kind of that you've been able to parlay off of your success, multiple revenue streams, social media growth, creating like this storytelling aspect leading up to tournaments and events. Take me back to the evolution of that, because that's incredibly fascinating to me. I think a lot of people would have had your level of success, blown up on Instagram a little bit, signed some brand deals and been like, I'm fucking good, you know? So what was like the entry point where you're like, oh, I can do more. I want to do more. And here's where I'm starting.
Well, I think I just recognized that it's difficult to make a lot of money in this sport. So we need multiple streams of income. And typically we have to do that through notoriety. So the more famous we become within this niche, the more money we're going to be able to allocate from other companies, from sponsors, etc. That's like why I started my podcast with my friend Simple Man Podcast a few years ago, and now it's extremely profitable. It doesn't make any sense really. I can't believe people listen to us. You know, it's ridiculous. But yeah, it's like we're making really good money, and yeah. Oh, it's the culture, right? It's a culture thing. Like when we started B Team Jiu-Jitsu, we really want to emphasize the YouTube and the social media, because it gives our guys, once they reach a level of skill and competition, now they have the notoriety to get what they're worth. Where you have guys that win world championships, have very little following, and they're getting like $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to compete.
Yep.
Where you get guys that only have notoriety, not that good, and maybe getting close to six figures to compete. It's like, you know, we understand the value of that. So we wanted to help our guys that are on the come up, and that's kind of what we're doing.
Zach, what's the best training app on the planet?
It has to be Train Heroic. Gone are the days of sending the old crusty PDF. Now we have a sleek new app.
It's easy to use. There's videos with descriptions. You get to track and log your weight, your reps. There's a community chat function. You can submit videos. You can get feedback.
How about the leaderboard, Tim?
I started using Train Heroic first as an athlete and someone who wanted to learn. Now I use it as a coach. Athletes and other coaches can go and be a part of my training community and get results.
Whether you're an athlete, coach, or just like to train, use the link in our description to find out how you can train on the best app in the world.
And join us on Train Heroic today.
The Coach 'em Up podcast is now powered by Vald, the global leader in human measurement technologies. Whether you're working with elite athletes, gen pop, or return to play populations, Vald's tools are designed to give you objective, actionable data to help drive your decision making. From Nord boards, force decks, and smart speed timing gates, all which I use, Vald helps you measure what actually matters. Their technology is used and trusted by the NBA, NFL, EPL, and NCAA, as well as thousands of high-performance clinics and facilities around the world. If you're serious about performance, recovery, or precision coaching, Vald gives you the best tools to test, assess, and improve. Because remember, if you're not testing, you're just guessing. Follow the link below to learn more and request a demo. Tell me a little bit about the formation of B Team.
Okay, formation of B Team. All right. Greatest grappling team in history was called DDS, Danaher Death Squad. Okay. That formed in Renzo Gracie, Manhattan. And I was training under that team for 2 to 3 years. And then we moved to Puerto Rico.
This was during COVID.
During COVID, moved to Puerto Rico. Once we moved to Puerto Rico, at the end of our stay, they had some issues amongst the team, so we split. We went separate ways. It was like John Danaher and like two or three other guys split and opened their own spot, and then the main guys, which is me, Nicky Ryan, Craig Jones, Damian Anderson, Ethan Krelestein, we went our separate ways and opened B Team Jiu-Jitsu. Why it's called B Team is because Craig Jones, which is our like Lord and Savior, our business partner, teammate, he's made a career off of being the second best, right? Which really hurts my ego, but I accept it for money. We compromise for the team, you know?
Yes.
And he's a branding, a marketing genius. So I didn't
let him ride.
Nobody fought back. And it's been extremely successful, you know? And, literally, he's been like, his ideology was like, everybody wants to be number one. Nobody argues who's number two. So he just accepted that place, and he's been so correct.
This guy sounds fucking awesome.
Dude, insanely correct. Yeah. Yeah, he's really smart when it comes to that stuff. And so that's why we called it B Team Jiu-Jitsu. And man, we have like a cult following. Cult in a good way. You know,
right.
We're not going to bang your wives, but we're going to have a good time together. You know?
Maybe.
We're gonna have a good time together.
Any dudes with mustaches in B Team?
There's a few. You'd fit in.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. And then it just goes back to that culture of people just having fun while they train. Like we have a really good thing where, if you train with a B Team guy, it's going to be a really tough role. And they're going to be good. So people like that aspect of it.
So when it comes to navigating social media, growing on social media, trying to grow brands, do all those things at the same time, it can be overwhelming. It can be a lot, right? It's a lot to navigate, right? That in and of itself, like you're taking multiple brands, which are their own jobs and businesses on their own, and then you're trying to have them go vertical at the same time. And then when you started jiu-jitsu, did you have a social presence?
I did, yeah. I had about 30,000 followers, mainly from the Wilhelmina fitness modeling.
Yep.
So that helped me out a bunch because as soon as I started, people were like, this guy's too handsome to be good at anything. I was like, you're right.
Do you fucking love that, by the way?
It's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, I mean, being good looking is not, it can't really.
No one's ever accused me of being too handsome to be good at something, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's never too late. Never too late. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's definitely always helped me out for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you talked about your father, his entrepreneurial spirit, right? And I can't help but imagine that had a huge impact on you and wanting to see where you can push the needle. You've got your hand in several different things now. How are you still able to be all in on everything that you have going all at the same time? Because most people can't fucking do that, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, priority one is make sure my family's good. Like I've been successful, so I know my kids and stuff will be fine. But besides that is making sure I can be the absolute best grappler possible. Achieving my true potential is all that really matters to me. Everything else that needs to get done, I just pay people to do those things. Yeah. So I don't have to do anything. Like if I need to make a post or something, my people are like, hey, like, make a post on Thursday, talk about this and that. I'm like, solid. So all of my attention goes to studying the sport, being the best I can be, and I'm not bothered by anything else.
So when you got to that place where you were able to start like delegating, putting other people in positions to help move this thing along.
Yeah.
Did you have trouble relinquishing control over any of that stuff? Or was it like a no-brainer? It's like, if I can find someone who's better at me than this, I'm going to plug them there.
I don't think people can necessarily, there's not a lot of people that are going to be better at producing the kind of content that I want to produce, mainly because it's me.
You're right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's nobody that's going to be me with my song choice, my caption choice, my antics, or when it comes to the kind of content. But I can give them specifics of what I'm looking for, and then I can make adjustments as I go. Making those adjustments is far easier than waking up brainstorming what am I going to post today for each of these individual companies, and then try to refocus towards jiu-jitsu. So it's worth saving my time.
Yeah. As you look at your experience of where the sport was when you started and like where it is today, because I mean, even as like an outsider looking at like, dude, it's churning still. It's still growing in popularity. And I really feel like it was like post-COVID, there was like this time where there was like this initial, like, it felt like an eruption where like, so a little bit of background about me. Jiu-jitsu was my first sport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. It was the first sport I was good at. Let me back up. Yeah. So listen, take this with a fucking grain of salt.
Virgin ears.
Yeah. Well, okay. So it was jiu-jitsu and sport jiu-jitsu. That was it, right? So it was
the
just
difference.
So sport jiu-jitsu was you have gloves, you have a mouthpiece, you have, head protection.
Okay.
And it's effectively what MMA is.
Okay.
Now,
like
right?
Sambo kind of.
Yeah. It was just, it was kickboxing and also jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
That's it. That's what it was. Right.
Yeah.
And I, at the ripe age of 7 and 8, I was a national champion in sport jiu-jitsu and regular jiu-jitsu. And I don't even tell most people that. Reason being is because, like, one, when I was growing up, like I was born in 90. And
1990?
1990, brother.
Sick, bro.
And when I was 7 and 8, I'm like bringing national champion trophies to school. Yeah. They're like, whatever, karate nerd. You know what I mean? You fucking ginger loser bitch, dude. No one fucking cares about that. And, eventually I fell in love with basketball. I wanted to be Michael Jordan, which, big miss. But like the sport, where it was then, and now it is cool. Like people respect and understand the amount of time, energy, and effort that goes into being someone who's really good at that sport. So that's been my evolution. And it's wild to me because like I've had moments where I'm like, dude, I wish it was fucking cool when I was a kid, dude. Maybe I would have stuck with it. But where it is today,
the internet has a massive impact on
dude,
for sure.
Huge. Well, and I think like, let me ask you this. From when your entry point to today, what have been like the biggest changes around the perspective of the sport? What can you attribute most of that growth to? I know you mentioned social media. And then like long-term, where do you see it going?
Well, let's talk about growth. My first year of jiu-jitsu, the ADCC World Championship was in Anaheim, California. And I believe there was like between 5,000 and 8,000 people in the stands. And then Thomas and Max Center was last year's CGI $1 Million tournament. And I don't really know how many people were there. It was definitely more than like 8,000. It was massive. But even online, we had the most streams ever. It was like 160,000 people watching live.
What the fuck?
Yep. And you're talking, this is like a 13-hour event each day. Like first day was like 13, second day was like maybe 8 or 10 hours, and live about 160,000 people watching. And then once we release on YouTube, it's like each day has like 4 million views. So looking back at ADCC being behind a paywall versus, and then fast forward 5 years or 7 years being free on YouTube, it's like it's incomparable. Jeez. And then the money too, like I'm able to get whatever I want to compete, and have a great life, and use this money to invest in different things. So
right, get a Raptor R, jump that motherfucker.
Yep,
let's go, baby.
Do it while it's on the warranty, for sure.
Let's go. I joke, but it's not a joke that all this podcast money is just Raptor money.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have any mods to yours, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you? I haven't touched mine. Because I'm scared once I start, it just won't stop.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
Because if you're as much of anything similar to me is the way I'm picking up that you are, you will be unable to stop. It is endless. It's a Raptor size hole that will never fill up.
Yeah. You just don't, it's just so much truck. You don't need to do anything to it, you know, but
No.
it's good.
I mean, it's mostly cosmetic. Like I was like, I'm buying this tune, but like, you know, wheels, tires. Yeah. Tents.
I haven't done anything. I put a Moab sticker on the back of it, but every day I look at the parts.
What color is it?
It's a green.
Oh, I love that shelter green.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Yep.
I love that color.
I was in Moab, and these guys called my truck a unicorn. I was like, "What do you mean?" They're
Yeah,
like,
it's hard to find a Raptor ARG in that color.
in the green. Yep. I drove to like Houston to get it. It's worth a 3-hour drive because they had an Avalanche here Avalanche R like here in town. It's like, fuck it, I want the green one.
Yeah, dude. No, you did the right thing.
Thank you.
Colors.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I saved up for 5 years when I was a kid to buy a Haro, like a pedal bike.
Yep.
And it was green and red.
No.
Now this is my
way.
Haro. It's green with the red R. Yeah.
God, that's epic.
Yeah.
Where do you see long-term growth of the sport? Like what's the sport's potential?
It's really hard to say because we're getting the company, you know, UFC is getting behind grappling. They're getting all into it. But this means that they probably want all of their athletes to be exclusive so they can only compete on the UFC.
Yeah.
Now this takes out sponsors, which, you know, if you're good, you're well known, you're talking 6 figures plus per sponsor.
Yeah.
And then there's no limit to it, you know, no limit to sponsors. And yeah, I don't know. Like they're gonna kind of monopolize it, which is fine because it's UFC is a great engine. They know how to grow whatever they grow. I mean, look at the UFC.
Right,
you know,
yeah.
it's
They fucking figured that out for
they
sure.
figured it out. You know, but it is scary because once you're locked in these contracts, it's like, well, is this the number you're stuck with? How long are you stuck with this number? Like I had an offer to sign to one championship like a few years ago, and it was decent money. And I was like, I don't want to be stuck at this number because in 6 months, a year, you know, I'm going to be worth more than this. And then it kept multiplying every time I competed. I was like, if I signed my name away for complacency or for consistency or stability,
Right.
I would have been stuck there. And it's like you gotta bet on yourself, you know, within reason. I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see it. Like some people are like, oh, we want to get in the Olympics. It's like, no, Olympic athletes don't make any money.
No.
You know, look at NFL's not in the Olympics. They're making real money.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Yeah, I think if we get some kind of TV deal, like, you know, a certain, you know, maybe like ESPN or Fox Sports, that might be good. But I think exclusivity is, we don't have enough notoriety to be worth being exclusive.
Yeah. That's the best time to be a part of something though. Right on
on
the
the come up.
precipice. Yes, dude.
In the next 5 years, it's going to be different, man.
I remember because, you know, my mom, okay, dude, let's talk about some family drama. So my parents got a divorce and I spent a lot of time at this dojo. Mm-hmm. And so basically my sensei and his wife were both national level competitors. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up moving in with them. So I lived with Sensei, Gary Bush. And we would have UFC in the infancy of UFC. Mm-hmm. It was the Gracie brothers, and they just were. And I remember being like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, watching them just beat the fucking shit out of everybody, dude. They were dominant. Bigger, smaller, didn't matter. Guys, you know, they come out and it's like, that guy does steroids for sure. Yeah. And what do you think? Like, you see that, you see him line up and you're like, this motherfucker in the gi is about to get his ass kicked. Yep. Fucking wrong, brother. Mm-hmm. Wrong. Yep. And I remember falling in love with that and being really excited about that. And I wonder, like, but those were the glory days too. Like now, granted, like there was like no cups and like, it was like bare knuckle, I think, still, dude. Like, you know,
eye gouging, nut shots.
Literally, dude. It was like anything goes. But like I look back at that era, and like now today, someone who's like just getting into like watching UFC or, you know, competitive combat sports, you tell them that, and it's not even gonna feel real. They're gonna look at that and they're gonna say, "What? That was a fucking thing." It's like, yeah, you missed it.
Yep.
And I can't help but wonder if like this time frame, because obviously it feels like the sport is much more buttoned up than like the example I just gave, right? You know, that's a little absurd. But before it got corporatized and before TV deals got involved, it was like this really special community to be a part of, and you could make a real fucking impact. And which leads me to the next thing, leaving an impact and making an impact. You've certainly made an impact.
Yeah, I like to think so. You know, I think I've broadened in the wrestlers' eyes, where a lot of wrestlers are, you know, they wrestle their whole lives. They go to college, have great success, and then they either fight in the UFC or they get a corporate job. And it's like they still have to scratch that itch of competition. I think jiu-jitsu is a great way to transition, to keep being an athlete and make some real money if you dedicate yourself to it. The biggest problem that really good wrestlers have when they transition to jiu-jitsu is shutting down the ego, because you're gonna get beat up by somebody that's half your size for the first year and a half in training every day. But that's the investment that you have to invest within yourself in order to accomplish your goal of finding real financial success and financial stability in the sport. So I think if you take those guys that can shut down the ego and just accept they're gonna get beat up by nobodies for a year or two, and they're gonna flourish.
I have a little story about getting beat up by someone I didn't think I was supposed to. So I fought MMA in my early 20s, had a few fights in like convention centers in like Louisville, Kentucky, like real, just like sign up, fight someone type shit, It was great. I mean, it was awesome. I was smoking Newports on the way to the fight. Nice. I was not sober at this time at all. Yeah. I'm just like, I need to cut weight. Great. I'm going to stay up for a couple of days. You know what I mean? That's where I was at. Life looks a lot different today now. But I get sober and I'm living in South Florida, and in Boca Raton's top team.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like I don't drink and like stay up for days doing drugs. Like I might stop smoking cigarettes soon. Like I'm gonna get back into this thing. You know what I'm saying? So I go, and it's like, it's like an open roll or whatever.
You're living in Boca?
I was living in Del Rey.
Oh, okay, cool.
Big recovery scene down there. And man, I needed it. And so I walk in, of course, everyone's real nice. The instructor hardly speaks any English. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good class, you know? And I got paired up with this guy, yellow belt, had to be in his mid 50s, Yeah. And we start rolling, and he got me in a triangle in less than 30 seconds. Nothing I could do. Yeah, maybe tap. And immediately I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter that I'm big. And you know what? It was like, he meant it as a compliment, but also it was like a gotcha bitch. Or he was like, you're strong, man. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, dude. I get it, But can you talk a little bit about that too? Like, I don't think, certainly like someone like a wrestler is going to have perhaps a greater understanding of, what someone who is skilled at that craft can do. But to the average person who like doesn't understand the skill set you can have and how quickly you can neutralize someone with that skill set, is there an analogy or a comparison you can think of?
If you train jiu-jitsu consistently for like 2 years, and you get in a fight with a regular human being that has never trained, it's like playing with a baby. I'm not even exaggerating. You can do whatever you want to them. You could just pull their head down. You could trip them on the floor. You could sit on their chest and just look them in their eyes. Yeah. There's nothing they can do. It's there's a lot of men in this world that need that realization. Like
100%.
Like a lot of people think that they can just like protect their family. It's like, yeah, if you have a gun, and if you can't get to your gun, you're screwed. Yep. And then everybody's like, oh, well, you're good at that jiu-jitsu stuff, but what do you do against my Glock? It's like, well, now I also have a Glock and jiu-jitsu. So what are we talking about here?
Yeah, what are we really saying?
Yeah.
So to that point of there are some things, martial arts and the limited time that I practiced taught me about humility and understanding. Like I've had enough experience to know, like, first of all, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. I'm a peacemaker. You bump into me in the bar or whatever, I don't know what the fuck you've been up to the past 6 years. I'm either gonna be like, watch out, buddy. Be like, you're right. My bad, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're good. We're good. You know?
Yeah.
But I there are some valuable lessons I learned. I got my daughter, by the way, Danaher was at the Henzo Gracie place here off of Guadalupe, I believe. And I didn't know that. I enrolled her there. And she, you know, I remember her first day, she got fucking bodied.
Oh, yeah.
And she comes running off the mat crying. She's like, Daddy, I don't want to do this. I'm never coming back. And I was like, you're definitely going back now. So she went for almost a year. And the reason being is like, there are things I learned about getting comfortable, being really unfucking comfortable. People don't know what it's like to have someone sitting on your fucking chest and not know it. You can't do anything about it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
A sense of humility, but also a sense of confidence and understanding what I'm capable of. I'm interested to know, like, what are some of the lessons you've learned and have those things helped shape you and your personality and who you are?
Lessons I've learned. I don't know. I think fighting's pretty dangerous. Like, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I don't go out.
Yeah.
But if I was to go out and somebody started something with me, I'd just walk away.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Like, humans are too fragile.
So fragile.
Like, when I was bouncing, I had this guy headbutt me in the face, and I just pushed him, like, to get away from me. And he goes up in the air and goes down and cracks his head open and needs like 15 staples. And he tries
fucked him up real bad.
Yeah, he tries to sue me. It's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
we're in court for like a year, and then we settled for whatever because he admitted to headbutting me.
Right.
And it's like, people are just fragile, just literally just from a push.
Yes,
you
dude.
know. So it's like, it's not worth it.
It's not.
Not worth it. We're fragile beings.
Yeah.
Stay home. It's safer.
Yeah. I don't go out anymore either.
Yeah.
I was a bouncer too.
Were you? Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
It's not a good job.
You know what's funny? There's like the people who sign up for that job, not always, you know. Some people are just like, they were just dudes and they got free drinks and, you know, they were there for like just vibes or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's a paycheck.
Yeah.
But then there's like that other kind of person that signs up for it because they're like, they can't wait to kick someone out of the bar.
Yeah.
And they're going to fucking fist fight someone in the back of the alley and stuff like that. And I remember, you know, it happened a lot. Rebar in Nashville. Shout out Rebar.
Yeah.
And like, I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
Because I understand how quickly it can all go. You know, you punch someone, they hit their head wrong or whatever. It's a big fucking problem.
Sometimes we'd have competition so you could kick out the most people. It's good. makes a night go by faster.
Yes, it does. Also, dude, all right, martial arts, and like people talk about like serving jobs, you know, about like you start to get an understanding of like what the average person is like and how to deal with kind of people's bullshit. Bounce, dude, work at a bar and bounce for a year. Do it for 3 months. Drunk people, human beings, are the worst fucking creatures on planet Earth, especially when you get a big group of them together.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
Confident
dude.
frat boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
So confident.
Yeah.
I'm like, brother, I know you haven't been in a fight before, a real fight.
Yeah.
You know? Jesus Christ. I'm going to beat your ass. Okay. This episode is brought to you by friend of the show, David Gray of David Gray Rehab, creator of the absolute game-changing foot, ankle, and Achilles program. To date, it's helped over 8,000 people, including Zach and myself, get back to running, jumping, and playing pain-free. This program isn't just for athletes. It's also been used by coaches and physios in the NFL, NBA, and Premier League, as well as every other major sport. And if that wasn't impressive enough, you can get the full program 15% off lifetime access when you click the link in the show notes and use code TIM at checkout. All right, dude. I've got some questions from Instagram on the box I put up. I'm going to lob some of them your way.
Sounds good.
Do you know Dr. Danny Spalding?
Not personally, but a lot of my guys go to him. They say
with
he's
him?
fantastic.
He's the fucking man. So he doesn't have a question. He just saw that we were doing an interview, and in the question box, he said, yes. So shout out Danny, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. This is from Herb Mingus. Why do you think BJJ S&C is stuck in the dark ages, and how can we fix it?
Do you think that's a fair accusation?
Yes. Honestly, I think a lot of guys that are looking to be professional grapplers think that you can't get strong without steroids. I promise this. I've spoken to so many.
Dude, why the fuck is that happen? Like, why is that a thing?
Because they see a lot of the best grapplers in the world. Like almost all of them are openly on steroids, obviously on steroids, and they talk about it and they preach about it. And then you have this upcoming generation. It's like, oh, in order to get this success, I need to do this. And then obviously we know like you can take certain substances and do almost no lifting and still have results.
Yep.
You know, so some people see it as just like, oh, why would I lift if I could just do this and get bigger? I think that's an aspect. And then it's just a really young sport. You know, it's very young and it's not as mainstream. So we don't have all of the great minds when it comes to strength and conditioning invested in that sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, you look at NFL, like they create this schedule for you, you know, they tell you what to eat, what to do, how to train.
100%.
It's like here you kind of, similar to UFC where it's up to you to create your own schedule. You know, you have your own team. And it's like most of the best guys just train and they don't do the exterior stuff.
Yeah. All right. This is from Julian Cyrus Pierce. Tips for athletes who tend to perform well at a higher body fat percentage. How much does that matter?
Well, I think if you're absolutely shredded, that's probably not the best.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at guys when they fight, like they cut weight, they're the leanest they've ever been. And then the next day when they compete, they're 10, 15 pounds heavier because they're loading on water and all this good stuff. But I think everybody's different. Like if you walk around at 5%, that's your natural. I think that's fine, you know. But me personally, I can only really attest to myself. I generally like to be a little bit thicker. Like I feel like being lean is just for looks, it's not for performance.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah. This is from my Romeo 4. Navigating injuries and coming back from them.
I've only had one real injury. I've had a bunch of things been hurts before, but only one thing that really stopped me for training. I tore my bicep.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I just shredded it off the bone. Also learned.
How'd you do it?
Okay. I was back home in New Jersey for like a week or two, like a week. And at my lifting gym at home, I have this preacher curl machine. Mm-hmm. In all the gyms you've ever trained at, you're going to find one thing that just was built for your body. This preacher curl, whoever made this was like, I'm going to build this for Nicky Rock. And it's perfect for my length, my kind of biceps. Uh-huh. It's my machine.
Okay.
So I just have 2 absolutely phenomenal arm days back to back. Like I couldn't get enough of it, right? I've been gone for so long. I missed her, came back, and I was all up on her. You know what I mean? So 2 massive arm days back to back. Next day, I go to wrestling practice, but I'll show up like half an hour late. So I warm up. I just go like this. All right.
Yep.
Like that was my warm up. Like,
yeah.
Literally nothing.
Hell yeah.
I shake hands, shoot. And the moment I shot, I just blew my arm out.
Fuck.
Yeah. It was literally like that. It was like, boom, shot, done.
Done. Cooked.
Just like that. Just arms pumped to shit because of arm days.
Yes.
And no warm up. And, you know, that's how it goes. Just blew her out.
Yep.
But I had an interesting thing where the inside of my bicep shot up, but the outside was still attached. He says I have like a double ligament at the bottom of my bicep, so it's different. I'm better than everybody. That's what my doctor said.
The doctor said
yeah. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, it's gnarly because the inside was just up here and the outside was like.
Did it roll? It rolled up in a ball and
but like it looked like half the bicep. You know what I mean? It was wild. So they reattached. I got fast surgery too. Like 3 or 4 days after it happened, I was in the room and got it reattached, and surgery went great. It took me like maybe 3 or 4 months to get back to training hard, but literally like a year to mentally recuperate from it, because before that, I didn't believe I could get injured.
Yeah.
I say this as serious as could be. I was like, nothing can hurt me. Like you could try to run me over with the truck, and I'm like, I hope you have good insurance. Your truck's gonna be totaled.
If you see me in a fight with a bear,
yeah,
help the bear. Yeah,
dude, I was so serious. I was like, I can't. These people are human. I can't be hurt by them. And it turns out I hurt myself. So that might.
I mean, so you technically weren't wrong.
Yep, exactly. It's that's me versus me out there, I guess, right? That's what happened. And then so honestly, only a few months to be physically back, but mentally, it took me like a year, maybe a bit more than a year to really find myself. And then been on the up ever since then. Yeah. And what are we saying? How to get back from injuries? Rehab. I think there's a few different ways to look at strength and conditioning, right? Get stronger, get better cardio, or get healthier. If you're have aches and pains, use lifting properly for rehab, for recovery. Mm-hmm. You put blood in there, and that's how your body repairs itself. So that's what we do. So
you know what, you saying that made me think of something. There's a saying in performance in my space, and you were talking about the NFL. Like most of the people I work with are like NFL guys, or I get guys ready to go to the combine, shit like that.
Gotcha.
There's a big difference between health and performance.
Yep.
And so often a common theme and thread that I see, and it's kind of grown, is like there seems to be this sentiment that if you're hurting, or that if some things aren't feeling great, that's something is inherently like quote unquote wrong. And in my mind, it's like, dude, if you're pushing your body to its actual fucking limits, like if you're training hard for real, if you're spending time practicing your sport for real on a regular basis, there's no way something doesn't fucking hurt. It's impossible. And if something isn't nagging, I'm not saying it's the goal, but like if you're not accumulating some nagging injuries from time to time, you're probably not going hard enough, brother.
It's the difference between hurt and injured.
Yes.
If you're hurt, you just keep going. If you're injured, we talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. This next question is from Marcello. I'm going to reword it though. How do you manage nerves prior to competition?
I think a lot of times people recognize nervous energy as a bad thing. I think it's a great thing. I think you being nervous is your body's way of saying that we're ready for the task at hand. I think we need to use these nerves to understand that, you're going to be faster, you're going to be stronger, your adrenaline's pumping, you're prepared for what's about to happen. And yeah, it's kind of like the John Jones quote, right? If you can make these butterflies fly in formation, you're good to go.
Fuck yeah.
So I think don't try not to be nervous. You turn that nervous energy to excited energy and show appreciation for the ability to compete. Recognize that, not everybody gets this opportunity to step out on the mat and do what you truly love to do. So use it. Try to do your best, and whatever happens, happens. For me, a bit of carelessness is good in the sense that if I care too much, it turns to worry. Yeah. If I'm worrying, then I'm trying not to make mistakes. And when you try not to make mistakes, you make mistakes. So I just go out there. I'm free. I have my faith. I'm like, if God wants me to win, we win. If not, whatever. But I'm going to do everything possible to have the best result possible. And whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. We're going to get into some segments, brother. Okay. This first segment, shout out Squat Wedgies, longest standing sponsor, ride or die with us from the very beginning. When we definitely did not deserve to have sponsors, Squat Wedgies was there, willing to support us. So thank you, Squat Wedgies. Hey, use code CoachEmUp15 at checkout, save 15% off. 3 things. So you look at your entry point into jiu-jitsu and where you're at today. What are 3 attitudes, philosophies, ideals, actions, 3 things that someone can take? Let's say, perfect example, someone is exiting wrestling, wants to enter jiu-jitsu to get from entry point to successful competitor.
Okay. Accept that you're going to get beat up by people that are not worthy of beating you up, right? Accept that you're going to get held down and mount by somebody that works a 9-to-5 job, and it's going to be disgusting with them sweating and drooling on you. This is part of it. Study the sport. Find a grappler that you like their style, that you think their style will complement yours, and learn everything about them, how they compete mentally, physically, what kind of techniques and sequences they do. Find the best room possible and train there every single day. If you're the rest day type, some people like taking Wednesdays, Sundays off, or 2 days a week off. I think that's fine if that's what you do. Other people don't take any days off. You got to find what works best for you. If you're younger, you go every day. If you're a bit older, whatever. Was that 3? I don't know. I'm not a bit
solid.
I'm not a big counter.
I mean, I certainly wasn't keeping score either, dude.
Cool.
Hell yeah, dude. We fucking nailed that segment, dude. 3 things, baby.
Let's go.
All right. Next segment, Rant and Rave. This is brought to you by Train Heroic. I'm on Train Heroic. Zach's on Train Heroic and No Longer in Space Nightclub. Click the link in the show notes and join us. Be there. All right, dude. Rant and Rave. Give me something that you see in the jiu-jitsu landscape that's rant worthy, something that you see and you're like, I want to see less of that. And then on the other end, something that you're seeing in the sport that you want to rave about. You love it. You want to see more of it.
This is hard for me because I'm so self-focused. I almost don't see anything else besides what I have to do. Let's start with the positive. What I would like to see more of. I'd like to see, I'm selfishly just going to say I'd like to see more high-level wrestlers get into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before. I think guys that are top-heavy leg riders in NCAA, more like the Penn State style, the big scrambles, I think they would do phenomenal in the world of jiu-jitsu. I think they're guys like that are very coachable. They take knowledge well, and they know what hard work is. So this is it's easier on the body than wrestling is. It really is. And then what I would like to see less of, I don't know. I don't have any complaints really.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll think about it and text you.
Send me. You know what we can do? If you remember to text me, we'll just add it into the show notes.
Yeah. That sounds good.
All right. If jiu-jitsu hadn't become the path, well, actually, let me back up. This next segment is brought to you by David Gray Rehab and the Foot, Ankle, and Achilles program. I've used it. Zach's used it. It's absolutely phenomenal. You can get lifetime access, 15% off. Use code TIM. Nikki, if you hadn't found jiu-jitsu, and if you could pick any other occupation or life path, what would you choose?
I've thought about this here and there. The thing is, when I do anything, like trucks, right? When I go to Moab, I'm like, we're gonna send it all day for 4 or 5 days straight. We're gonna go fast, jumping, hitting berms, whatever. At the end of the day, I'm like, what would make this day better? Is if I could train in the morning and then do all of this. So that's that. If I wasn't grappling, I think honestly I'd be so much more successful financially, because I'm just trying to do, I'm trying to be as good as I can at something that's not super profitable in comparison to other things. Like if I took this time, energy, brain energy towards real estate or whatever, I'd probably do real estate actually. I'd probably be a real estate developer.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm dabbling in it now because I see the potential of what can be. Actually, I definitely would be a real estate developer. Absolutely. As far as sports dreams, I've been a motocross fan since the beginning of time. My dad bought me my first dirt bike when I was 3 years old. He was like, listen, if you can ride your bike down the street, no training wheels, I'll buy you a dirt bike. Rode that thing. Next morning, wake up, dirt bike in the living room.
No way, dude.
That's a man right there.
That's epic.
Yep. That's the man. And I've been motocross fan my whole life, but I'm too big. There's not a lot of 6-foot guys that are sending it in the world of motocross. These guys are much smaller, more nimble. But I like to go fast. I think probably after jiu-jitsu, I'll get into something maybe like not necessarily rally car, maybe trophy trucks. Something I can crash with a roll cage and be all right. You know, I hit the motocross track here and there, but I'm just trying not to get hurt the whole time.
Right.
So and like
Same.
And then like the better you get at it, the more risk you're taking. I'm like, it's just not the time for me to be risking my body's health, you know?
Right.
So I think I'll do some kind of like adrenaline based sport when I'm a bit older.
We're happy and proud to be powered by Vald. Go to the show notes, vald.com, ask for a demo. This is overrated versus underrated. Nikki, what are some ideas, philosophies, things that permeate through the sport of jiu-jitsu that are overrated in your opinion, and perhaps something also that is underrated?
No-gi grappling, close guard, bottom close guard, overrated. Doesn't, like, not a thing. Almost not a thing. It's like you literally just stand up whenever you want. These guys are just sitting in top close guard. Like maybe they don't know how to break close guard properly. Even the best guys from bottom close guard, it's super difficult to get anything going against somebody that just builds vertical posture. And then underrated, I feel like EBI back attacks. EBI is a rule set. Eddie Bravo Invitational is a rule set where you start on your opponent's back and you go to this guy bottom to the defensive guy escapes or till you get a submission. I feel like that positional training is overlooked because it gives you because it's hard for people to accept, oh, this guy's going to start in such a great position. But what it does, it gives you the ability where somebody's on your back, you have the confidence. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get out. Like it doesn't matter. I've had a million reps here. I'm gonna get out. Same thing when it comes to offense. The second you do all this work, get to the back, you don't have to stress about getting the submission. You're like, I'm gonna sub this guy. I've been here a million times. It's gonna happen. You know. So I think that confidence is very important. I think that a lot of times in jiu-jitsu, you just need to be like better than everybody in one or two different areas in order to be like truly exceptional in sport. Like pick what you're really good at and then become the absolute best in the world at these one or two things. The issue that I have is that I'm better than everybody everywhere. So it gets kind of watered down.
Good problem to have. Last segment here. This is brought to you by Aleco. I still can't believe they sponsor the podcast. Go to the link in the show notes. Use code CoachEmUp10 at 10% off at checkout to save 10% off everything, which is absolutely insane. This is solicited advice. So we're wrapping up here soon. We're going to walk out. We're going to leave. We're going to go our separate ways. Mm-hmm. You're going to hop into that beautiful Shelter Green Raptor R of yours. Mm-hmm. Some motherfucker you're going to drive by and say, hey, man, nice truck.
Yeah.
Now, you could say thanks. You're not going to. For whatever reason, you feel compelled to give this guy some advice. And it can be about life, jiu-jitsu, training, anything. If you were going to leave one piece of advice with someone unsolicited, what would it be?
Figure out how to make money without a job. I think we have phones in our hands all the time. I think there's too many avenues to make real money without needing to say, all right, I'm gonna work for somebody else. Mm-hmm. You know, too many opportunities. I feel like a lot of people settle for the consistency, the easy route, right? A steady paycheck. It's like, oh, I get this much. I can spend bits and pieces here and there. That's cool, but time is the most valuable thing in the world, man. If you can just like spend your time with your family doing what you really love to do, and just make enough to have fun in life, I think that's worth it over working for somebody else.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. Nikki, where can people find you, connect with you, and follow what you're up to?
Yeah, you guys can check me out on Instagram at NikkiRod247. You can check out the YouTube channel, B Team Jiu-Jitsu, B Team JJ as well. It's like our technique channel. Same thing, Instagram, B Team Jiu-Jitsu. You check out my podcast. If you listen, know that you're not going to learn anything, and it's the Simple Man podcast, and we call it Simple Man for a reason, because it's not a knowledge-based podcast. It is like locker room talk, and I'm embarrassed to talk on it sometimes. We're idiots.
Honestly, sounds fucking awesome. So, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, tune in, subscribe, but don't know that you're gonna waste some brain cells listening to it. If you guys want to support me, check out Fuel Hunt, buy their merch. Been with them for a while, and eat Carne Jerky, CARNEJERKY, secret sauce inside every single bag.
Wow, incredible. Nikki, thank you, man.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you coming on the show. To everyone who's made it all the way to the end, we appreciate you. Thank you. Remember, there are 2 types of people in this world. You know what to fucking do. I'll see you next time. Peace.